Today, I'm bringing guys a brand new sports cards video. In today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the best investments, in my opinion, that are under $10 currently. Now, before we get into that, I did want to say a little bit about our membership program because we've had some very good picks that have been doing very well. Now, one example is last year we were buying up Jordan Poole's Prism Silvers in a PSA 10 for under $160 in 2021, and they're currently around $566. They went as high as $989. So definitely a great investment for a lot of our members that made a lot of money with this pick. And this is just one of the many picks that have done very well for our members. So if you would like to join in on the program, the link will be down below to sportscardsinvest.com. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into this video. So the first card that I believe is a very good investment right now is Jaylen Brown. And I believe his concourse base is a very good buy for Select. Now, as you can see right here, this is the PSA 10, which is around $55. The ungraded version of this card goes for between $10 and $15. And I think it's a very good buy to be, going after right now. First of all, the population is very low on 2016 Select. So that means that, the prices can do much better than other players with a lot higher of a pop. So firstly, the ceiling is a lot higher on this, and the floor is a lot lower. Now, as you can see, this card has literally been hovering around $55 for the longest time, and the Celtics are currently 2 wins away from making an NBA Finals appearance. And as you guys know, Jaylen Brown is the second option on the Boston Celtics. I think this card has massive potential right now. We're already, I believe, starting to see his Prism starting to gain some steam. So as you can see here, prices are kind of leveled out, which makes just a very good buying opportunity. I think we're going to see a lot of great growth in Jaylen Brown's market. Now, it's just a matter of time, in my opinion. His populations are incredibly low. So as soon as demand arrives, these cards can really start to uptick in price. And given, the way he's been playing, the way the Celtics have been playing, given the fact that they're likely going to contend in the Eastern Conference for years to come. I mean, they're still a very young team. At least their core is very young with Marcus Smart, Jaylen Brown, and Jason Tatum. I believe this is just a very good investment. If they make the finals, I think the demand for this card is going to really start to go up. So I definitely believe it's a good time to be buying Jaylen Brown. Now, without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next pick, and that is going to be Bam Adebayo. Now, I know a lot of his cards are around that $10 mark. I have personally been going for his optics a little bit more, but I believe his base Prism, is also a decent buy right now. Just given where his prices are and how much he's been producing on the court, I think it's about time that these start to really rise in price. The population is a little bit high, but given the low price point, I think that, prices still have a great amount of opportunity. If we look at other guys at his level, I think his prices are just very, very low right now. So I definitely think it's a good time to be buying Bam Adebayo. The Heat are also 2 games away from the NBA Finals. Bam Adebayo is still a very young player, still's got a lot of room to grow, but is looking like one of the best big men in the league. I definitely don't understand why Ayton's prices are around that price range with a higher population. I think, Bam Adebayo has a good amount of room to grow. And if you do want to go after his Select or his Optic, I think that's also a very safe bet. So it just kind of depends on what price range you're trying to get in at. But if you can get in at around $10 for a base Prism PSA 9, that you can move very quickly if they do make the finals or down the line, I think that's definitely a very good buy. I think Bam is going to be around with the Heat for a long time. And, I think they have a young core that's kind of slept on a little bit with Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, of course. Of course, they have Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry kind of on the ascending years of their career. But I still think it is a good time to be buying up Bam Adebayo. But without further ado, we're going to hop right into our next pick, and that is going to be Kawhi Leonard. Now, this card is a little bit above $10, but I definitely believe it is a very good investment if you are willing to wait 5 to 6 months. Of course, Kawhi Leonard his rookie year is 2012, and therefore there are not many options for his rookie cards. There's basically his Prism and his Hoops are his two main rookie cards. Now, of course, you can argue his SP Authentic, but really his Prism and his Hoops are his main cards. Now, those who cannot afford to invest in Kawhi Leonard's Prism when he's back in the spotlight next year will likely be going towards his Hoops. Now, we saw this card go up above $400 in a PSA 10 at its peak. So I definitely think it's a very good time to be getting into Kawhi Leonard's Hoops. Next year is going to come around. The Clippers played very well this year without Kawhi Leonard. If they have Kawhi back, I think they're going to be a contender in the Western Conference. And Kawhi's, a lot of people forget he's a superstar. He's definitely has what it takes, and I think the Clippers have what it takes to compete in the Western Conference. So it's definitely a good time to be buying up while all attention is away from Kawhi. A lot of people have forgotten about Kawhi when he's back in, when he's back in form, when he's back in shape, when he's back in the spotlight. I think this card is going up quite a lot. Low population, of course, a lot of Clipper fans in LA. I definitely think it's a good time to be buying up Kawhi. And next pick kind of goes along the same lines. Another player who is really out of the spotlight, Jamal Murray. Of course, he is in 2016 Prism, where the populations are very low. So I think it's a very good time to be buying up Jamal Murray. A lot of people forget how deadly the Nuggets were, when they had a full healthy Murray, Michael Porter Jr., and of course the MVP Nikola Jokic. So I think next year, if they're competing again in the Western Conference, this card is not going to be this cheap. And we've seen Jamal Murray really show up in the playoffs, show up when his team needs him the most. So I think it's a very good time to be buying up Jamal Murray's cards. I think all of his cards are a great buy. It just depends on what fits your price point. I think they're all going to increase roughly the same amount. I would personally be going after his Optic in a PSA 9 with a pop of just 660. I think that's definitely a card that has a lot of room to grow, and this is first year Optic. So I think as Optic continues to do well, first year Optic is going to gain some recognition. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you would like to join in on the program, the link is down below. But without further ado, we're going to close out the video. I'm out. Peace.